Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
There's a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48, built back in... The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. 2nd and 2. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Tack McKinley make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, Vernon. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
This will be fielded at the 17. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10.
Let's go. 60 Pittsburgh. 52, come on.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. Time to look at the defensive starters for Green Bay. They've certainly had their struggles against the run at the 30th ranked unit out of 32 teams in the NFL.
The numbers are definitely not in their favor, but every time I click on the film and watch them, I see stretches where they play against the run really well. Their biggest problem, when they give up those explosive runs, those 30, 40, 50-yard runs, that'll really mess up your averages.
Now a carry for Sanders. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
65. Let's go. Ready.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
That's it, baby.
No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Here now the starters defensively for the Vikings. They were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
And now out comes Minnesota. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Now that sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. A tale of 2 extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Back to throw here. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at the 33. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10.
60 outlaw.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
On 2nd down now, it's Jones. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Operating from the gun, Vernon. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. So here are the Vikings to take over. They've gone 2 months without a loss, 8 straight wins for them, and they've got the lead here in this one as well. Try to make it 9 in a row. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Look at me. Go. Ready?
On second down, Boyce. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, "Are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down." They love being physical.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
On second down now, it's Sanders, and he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
Here we go. 15, 51. Switch up. Squeeze. Yep. Kill. Out.
They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Come on, fellas.
Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Let's go, defense. Get it.
On second down, it's Sanders, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Topper! Big series right here. We got to step it up. Hey, watch it. Big Dan.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It's certainly.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Danielle Hunter able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A big play there, with touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Danielle Hunter. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grade.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Tack McKinley has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Here's J.K. Scott now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Fielded at the 20. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10.
60 Pittsburgh.
Bend it. Bend it.
Hey, lock it. Look at me. Zipper. Leo.
They'll run on 1st down. Boyce. And he's got room. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. 26 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Fielded about a yard deep. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. After the penalty, it's Jones. That's a gain of 6 on the first down run.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here we go. 18 Gators. Right. Get it.
To throw on second down, Vernon. Going deep for Diggs. He's got him in, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 33 yards that time.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. Second down.
50, play.
Watch the pass.
Brings up 2nd and 10. At the 48.
Deep rim.
On second down, it's Jones. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run. On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more than Gale Sayers did in his career. And Gale Sayers was a Hall of Famer in a short career.
That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
And that one was a lot of fun right there, because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Shoot.
From the gun, Vernon. Out of the backfield, this is Aaron Jones. And so close, he gets it to the run. Out of bounds right there. That one goes for 36 yards.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval. It's a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. And they're going to go with the jet sweep. This is Diggs with it. And a second effort gets him in. Touchdown, Packers. Stephon Diggs, his second touchdown on the season. And the Packers get a score closer. Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. He's got it to bring it back to 28-7 now. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He has been a touchdown machine. It has been enjoyable to watch.
And the scoreboard continues to light up as a result of his efforts. He's been a blast, though. Every time you look up, you just figure if he's got the ball in his hands, he's going to end up in the end zone. It's been that kind of a game for him.
Absolutely. Now you just keep waiting for more. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Hard.
They'll keep it on the ground. Boyce. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Back now at Lambeau. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Running right, here's Sanders. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
On second down now, Boyce, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and that'll make it third down. They'll keep it on the ground. Boyce, he'll have a first down inside the 10, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A 21-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. So they went to the ground game on third, hoping to pick up the first. They also picked up a touchdown.
Offensive linemen so used in this situation to having to pass block. Right? You're looking at what it is, third down. They don't care that it's third and whatever. They figure they're going to throw the ball. And when you call a running play, I think you energize them. I think you juice them up because I haven't met offensive linemen yet that likes to pass block more than they like to run block. And they opened up some nice holes there for him, and he took it to the house.
This is taken about 7 yards deep.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what...
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Danielle Hunter, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now a throw for the left sideline, and he's got it. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down. The Packers on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Operating from the gun, Vernon, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter in there to get him again. That is sack number 6, one off the NFL record of 7.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Hey, we got tight left. Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Key him.
Check. Yo. Go. Look. Squeeze. Check. Shoot.
On first down, Boyce. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Fourth quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or two if you have to. Just go down, inbounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game. And that has to drive a coach crazy.
It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do. Late game situations, kicking situations.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zadarius Smith in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it. So a risky move that does not pay off. And, Charles, you take it from the defensive perspective. They had to be a little offended there that they even tried to go for it back inside their own 20.
Highly offended. And they took the ball away and gave it to their offense in a great situation. But when you look at this thing in total, when you start taking chances like that, you know what that means? You have to take more chances later, right? When you don't convert, that just means you got to double down on it. So we can see this thing pile up as we go on.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. And Diggs has it. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now first and goal. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Troy Apke. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. And I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held him to 7. If we made one more play, could have had our shutout.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on second and a couple. They'll keep it on the ground. Boyce. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Bravo! Hey! Fair! 49, check 49!
They'll run on first down. Sanders. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Rock it! Hey! Rock it!
Right back to Sanders on first down. And some room to roam now. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
After the pickup of 5, here's second and 5.
Right 54. Let's go. Check.
Hustle, ready!
They'll try the left side. Boyce. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that's going to make it third down and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Boyce. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
They still playing soccer.
Go!
Y'all playing the wrong.
Hey, lock it!
Kill.
Now!
They'll keep it on the ground. Boyce. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field.
Hey, pick your game up.
On second down, Boyce. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. They've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal? Now a give, right side. Boyce. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for the Vikings, the train just keeps rolling 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. Meanwhile, for the Packers, it's another week, another loss as they fall now to 0-9. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.